Over the years, I've played a lot of different types of board games. Some I've played more than others, but then there's been some board games that I've found myself coming back to time and time again. One of my favorite things to do in this board gaming hobby has been upgrading my favorite board games, and that's what this video is all about. So please join me as I go over my top 10 favorite board game upgrades of all time. Nemesis Lockdown includes some very neat upgrades. For example, for the doors, main gate, and rover tokens, you can get 3D terrain that represents the door, the main gate, and also a miniature of the rover, which is all really neat. However, I had an issue with keeping track of damage. I felt that it made the game feel fiddly. But thankfully, on Etsy, I ended up finding these bases that hold damage. And in my opinion, they work really well. They have different sizes that fit all sorts of miniatures, and they don't move at all whatsoever. Now I have absolutely no issues keeping track of damage cubes. It makes the game so much easier. Even when the intruders move, I don't have to be worrying about moving those damage cubes along with them. It makes playing Nemesis Lockdown so much more enjoyable. I've always loved Warp's Edge, but I never really enjoyed the cardboard tokens included with the base game. You see, shuffling the bag and drawing cardboard tokens never felt satisfying for me. Thankfully, there are plastic tokens you can buy that actually completely change the feel of the game. Now, shuffling the bag, drawing tokens, and placing them on the game feels natural. It's like this was the way the game was meant to be experienced. Unfortunately, you have to buy an upgrade to complete the experience. Either way, I'm glad they exist, and these plastic tokens are a must-buy for Warp's Edge. Bullet Heart and Star share a similar story to that of Warp's Edge. Using the cardboard tokens was really difficult to play this game with, but in the beginning, I ended up storing them in coin capsules, which helped a lot. However, once I finally got my hands on the deluxe bullets, it changed the game forever. These wooden tokens were perfect, exactly what I was looking for, and fit this game like a glove. These wooden bullets make playing Bullet Heart and Star a blast. It really feels good, especially when it comes to shaking the bag and pulling bullets out of the bag. It really does feel good, and it slides really well on the mat as well. It's worth repeating that the coin capsules work great. However, I noticed that the price of these coin capsules have gone up, so I highly recommend, if you can, to get your hands on the wooden bullets instead. This comes highly recommended. The Loop is one of the first and older games that I reviewed on this channel. I remember loving the game, but what I didn't love were those ugly, thick wooden meeples. Thankfully, on Etsy, I found these stickers that you could stick on the meeples, and it really brought to life the personality that the characters in the game are so well known for. Now, I know this is something small and simple, but you wouldn't believe how much life and enjoyment was rejuvenated playing this game once again with just those stickers. The other cool thing is that they have stickers for the front and the back, so it doesn't matter where they are on the board, they're going to look great. The amount of personality that these stickers add to the game is amazing and really makes the game even more enjoyable to play. Since I'm already on the topic of stickers for meeples, I had to include Final Girl. These yellow meeples will no longer be the only victims you'll be seeing while playing Final Girl. It's not something huge once again, but these stickers add a little bit of personality to the victims. They kind of actually look funny in my opinion when they're killed by a killer. It kind of makes me laugh. The stickers for the hearts actually look really good. They even have stickers for the time and the bloodlust tokens, which is a nice bonus. It's even neat that they have stickers for the item counters. Admittedly, they're really difficult to place them on the tokens. And finally, for the victim and the final girl, you have the stickers that once again have an image on the front and on the back. How can I talk about Final Girl without mentioning the miniatures? These miniatures, although very tiny, and I mean they're really microscopic miniatures for the most part, are really well detailed for what they are. And in my opinion, they bring a lot of life and personality to the game. You already know, if you're a fan of Final Girl, that the movies are a big part of what makes this game so much fun. And to see these spin-offs or rip-offs of your favorite cultural icons shown in miniature form is kind of really fun. And to me, honestly, it never gets old. It beats having the meeples by a mile and makes the game look amazing when you're playing it, especially when you have that playmat. I really love the simplicity of these miniatures. They look great. I adore Etherfields, but admittedly, the board that came included in the box was severely lacking. It made playing in the Stream World a complete nightmare, and I don't even mean to add a pun in there. It just was terrible to play. It was so far away from the player's reach. Thankfully, on Etsy, I found this neoprene mat that put the dream world right in front of you. It completely fixed that vital flaw that ended up making me not enjoy the game as much as I could have. Once I used this neoprene mat, I was playing till the late hours of the night, and it really elevated the experience of Etherfield. This is one of those upgrades that not only look great, but makes it much easier to enjoy the game. If you own Etherfields, I highly recommend that you get your hands on one of these neoprene mats. Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid has to be one of the most upgraded games in my collection. I personally really enjoyed the storage solution for the cards, although a little bit too expensive. When it comes to the dice, I thought that it was a huge missed opportunity that it just came in one color. However, you can upgrade all of the dice, so it includes all of the colors and enough dice of that color to enjoy playing as any Power Ranger that you own. However, I think that's a really expensive option, and I only recommend it to the die-hard fans. The Megazord is represented as a token that you can place on the board. As soon as I found out there was this giant miniature, if you could even call it a miniature, I had to have it. See it go against the likes of Cyclopses or even the Mega Goldar is epic, really epic. But admittedly, it's not nearly as epic as this Zordon Dice Tower. Have you ever seen anything so cool? I mean, that is one awesome upgrade. I can't even believe this thing exists, but it does. I love this dice tower with a passion, and it rolls dice so beautifully. As a matter of fact, I use it for almost all of the dice games that I have, or any board game that includes dice. This Zordon Dice Tower is amazing. Resident Evil 3, the board game, is a game that I really enjoy. However, it has one glaring flaw. It's such a dark board. All of the tokens are so dark, and when you're playing on a really big map, it's really difficult to see the locations of where the doors are and if they're open or closed. Unfortunately, I missed out on the Kickstarter, and I was not about to pay scalper prices for the 3D terrain. But thankfully on Etsy, I found them. These 3D printed terrain pieces were still on the expensive side, but just one look at the pictures before you and you can see the drastic difference that these terrain pieces make. Everything just looks better, from stairs with guardrails to barricaded doors that you can remove the barricade, which is actually a gameplay mechanic, and I think that's really cool. There's explosive barrels, which also play a huge role in the game. The infamous A, B, and C items, which when you flip them around, You can actually see there's little items printed on there. So cool. Now the dead bodies don't look that great, but at least it gets the job done. What did make me laugh is the ink ribbon and the typewriter. If you're into Resident Evil, you know how cool this is. And also the supply box. It's all here, all accounted for, and it completely eliminates the need to use those dark tokens ever again. Talk about breathing new life into a game. These 3D printed terrain really do elevate the experience while playing Resident Evil 3, the board game. Too Many Bones is one of my favorite games of all time. And as someone that owns absolutely everything, I will let you know that the trove chest is an absolute must if you do own everything. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into it because honestly, this subject has been done to death on YouTube. But I will let you know that although it's not an actual upgrade when it comes to things that you add to the game, being able to set up your game and tear it down so easily thanks to the trove chest is really a gift that keeps giving. I really admire what was done with the cover and how the magnetic key is used to remove the actual drawers. That's beautifully done. Here's a bonus upgrade worth mentioning. Recently, I've been playing Marvel Dagger, and I noticed that there's a severe lack of what would you call plastic bases, as if there's almost no plastic bases included at all. It's so bad that I accidentally tore one of my tokens, and if you look closely at this picture, I had to repair it with a black marker. So off I went, looking for a solution, and I ran into these Fantasy Flight Supply plastic stands. These are your standard sphere plastic bases that most Fantasy Flight games have. But let me tell you, this works really well, not only for this game, but any game in which you need more tokens. It helps reduce wear and tear, and at the end, I ended up being able to put a base on every single standee. I never have to worry about wear and tear again. And it even makes setup and tear down even easier because it all fits in the box. And as an extra bonus, I want to mention craft boxes. Whenever a game has a lot of tokens, I never want to fill it up with baggies. I just use craft boxes to store my tokens, and it makes setup and tear down a breeze. These craft boxes are a must for those board games with an insufferable amount of tokens. You're about to witness what I consider to be the ultimate board game upgrade, and I use it for Marvel Champions and Legendary Marvel. I've been looking for years for a proper storage solution so that I don't have to be sifting through boxes of cards just to look for the hero, the villain, the henchman, the scenarios, the masterminds, whatever. I was so tired of looking through all the boxes just to find what I was looking for. I even lost countless hours attempting to create my own storage solution only to see myself fail miserably time and time again. Then, out of nowhere, one day while looking through Amazon, I found these BCW bin boxes, and I thought, could this be it? Feeling optimistic and full of hope, I went for it. And when it arrived, I couldn't believe it. This was exactly what I was looking for. I'm going to start with the Marvel Champions. First of all, you can actually customize the front here with any card or any image that you can find. It goes inside of a top loader, and it really does a great job, not only for presentation, but to give you a good idea of what's inside of that particular box. It has an effective locking mechanism that once unlocked, you simply flip it open and you get to see all the contents that are hidden inside. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have in each bin box. In this one, I have pretty much all the campaign related things that Marvel Champion has included throughout the years. Everything from your villains to your schemes, everything is here. And I also have all the tokens and dials needed to play. In the second bin, this is where I decided to hold all of the aspects that you can choose, as well as every single hero that has released up to date. Please know that this is all completely sleeved. In my way that I did, I just did in alphabetical order, so it's easy for me to find exactly who I'm looking for. I just can't get over that it all fits in sleeve. This is amazing. Moving over to the Marvel Legendary part of it, I'm going to show you what I did here. I'm going to save the best for last. But as you can see here, I decided to store all the heroes. And although I did do it in alphabetical order, the way I did it in alphabetical order, but depending on which expansion it is. So I have all the expansions separated with all the characters lined up in alphabetical order, if that makes sense. This makes looking exactly for what I'm looking for a breeze. And here comes the grand finale. This is what really gets me so hyped. In this one, this is where I put all the masterminds, all the master strikes, all the schemes, everything you need to end up being able to play an actual game of Legendary Marvel. But the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, what makes this special is that I was able and I managed to fit the neoprene mat right along the side of the box. This makes playing Legendary Marvel and Marvel Champions a joy and a breeze. I absolutely love this storage solution and I cannot recommend it enough. I honestly had a blast making this video. One of the biggest reasons that I enjoyed making this video was because I want to share with you the things that have made playing board games even more enjoyable for myself. And that's the point of this whole entire channel. I want to share with you the things that I love in the hopes that you can find as much enjoyment in them as I do. I want to take a quick moment to shine a little spotlight on Levity Games. When I first purchased the stickers for the Loop and Final Girl, I contacted them and just let them know how much I enjoyed the stickers. And as a thank you, they went ahead and they gave me Paleo, the stickers for Paleo. And although I didn't showcase them here, I do use them. I really like this husband and wife duo at Levity Games. And I encourage you to go out, support them, show them your love, and who knows, they might end up bringing a little bit of life to your favorite game. I know I don't get to upload and make videos as often as I'd like, but I just want to let you know that I really put a lot of effort and dedication and work into making these videos as enjoyable as I possibly can. And I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to hang out with me for a few minutes. With that said and done, this was Solo Board Gaming Night. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great game night. Take care, Solo Knights.